Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. In this presentation, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about a forbidden knowledge and information, which was forbidden to speak about it until today. This presentation is a fact that there is a will that want this thing to be revealed. So if you will read the word will in Hebrew backwards, you will find the word create. And will is always created from nowhere. And the will for you to know something that you didn't know, something that was hidden from your thoughts, something that was hidden from your consciousness. First, we must start with a summary. We will explain something that no one ever noticed. Every soul comes in this world to fix something that she hasn't fixed in her past life. You must understand that even if there is a cosmic power exists, this power wants you to fix something, and that something is something that you yourself want to fix. You understand that? You are born in this world in order to fix something that you have done in past life. You don't know what you have done, but you want to fix it. I shall explain to you in this lecture what you want to fix and what you need to fix. In this lecture we will reveal the secret of how to fix Adam and Eve's sin. Those who will listen and understand will redeem themselves in their own consciousness and their global consciousness. And whoever is not, do not worry, everything will be fine. And he will understand in the future. All the masks that exist in this world, this lecture will remove and reveal. The essence and the purpose of this lecture is only bring the all human race dream, salvation, to come true. Therefore, veganism, freedom, legalize, spirituality, love, peace, united nation, giving, and everything that is related to good and only good. We shall proceed with the warning. In this lecture, a very high and holy knowledge will be revealed. According to the Jewish religion, it is allowed only for age above 14. If you will interpret that information unlikely, you might get out of mental balance. You must have someone to guide you, even if it is yourself. But just know that according to the Jewish religion, this information is allowed only above age 14. That is holy knowledge from the holy book of Zohar and Kabbalah, the most hidden secrets. That knowledge made many people to lose mental balance and made them suicide because impatient to wait for such events. We are speaking of an information which is agreement of angel in the heavens. In our world, that consciousness is hidden. Good luck to us all. We shall begin with describing the fact about the power of the universe. Let's say, for example, that is God. When I say God, please do not think about anything you must do or any religion, and do not relate it to any commandments. God is something that loves and only gives. Let's begin. If God exists, He needs to be the only one who exists. The only one who exists in a level of that He is the whole creation itself as one. He is the whole creation. That's why it is written, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the one Lord. One by the meaning that everything that exists is one. That's how to understand things in light. Because the world understands it's in darkness. They think one as something single and not as something united. First we shall start with the simple explanation. God is one. That's how it is written in the Bible. God is also name of many, and that is also is written as us. Let us make mankind in our image. Genesis 1:26. And it is also written that God is an army. Jehovah Tzvaot. Tzvaot means military force. Therefore, God is an army and also one. From here we understand He is one, an army. Now we reveal that God is the whole creation as one. He is what exists from non-exists. If there was non-existence, we couldn't speak and you couldn't hear or see me, and you couldn't feel the existence around you, because it was non-existence. But you notice that the word non, ein, is the word me, ani, non is me, because I don't notice that myself is him and them as one. Therefore God is everyone. He is not a specific thing. He can inform himself into specific thing, but this is a complex living system which we will talk about in the future. Well, that God is a huge system of wills, of many people that their wills need to be united. Like it was on Exodus, when all the heart wills united into a one desire, and therefore was paranormal miracles. That's the system of God. That's how it works. We must understand how it works in order to bring paranormal miracles to come true. To bring the true Messiah ben David, we must be ready with a specific knowledge, a knowledge that will possess our feelings, a knowledge that will bring the world into one united nation, a knowledge that will remove the masks. Because the whole world itself, we must understand, and we also understood that is simply God as male and as a female as one. Now we'll explain something interesting. Look at that circle and think that whatever in that circle is the whole existence itself. Heaven with heaven, hell, sling, and all kinds of existing or non-existent dimensions. Everything is inside that circle. Looks like Jewish letters Samech and Mem. Sam. Look carefully on that circle and imagine that outside of it there is non-existence at all. There is one circle and all that circle is one. It is truly one. That is the whole meaning of God. He is everyone that exists as one. He is you yourselves. Pay attention to the fact that everybody in this world just wants to do good to the rest existence beings. All the companies, all the organizations, their goal is to just do good to the society. All the people who go to work and live in also want to do just good to the others around them. For the animals, even those who murder the animals, they do good because it is to earn money for their living. In generally thinking, everything that happens in this world is for good goals. Nobody knows how to do it in a thinking as united, as one, without hurting anyone. So there will be no misery to any living being, because the living being is God. That is the purpose of this lecture. Watch closely for something really interesting. In front of you there is a list for 72 names of the Lord according to the Holy Book of Kabbalah. Look carefully what is marked right in the middle, and no one noticed there until today. Ani, me, is the name of God. What means me? Me means me. Me means also you. Every person for himself says me. It means that everyone is God. How can we understand it more clearly? Simply we have a common thing. Everyone can cry tears. Now we will explain something interesting about tears. When a person is born to this world, he opens his eyes and he sees light. And from that light he begins to see images. He starts thinking to himself, what are those images he sees? Even before he asks himself, he enters to a shock. It is deleted from our memory. It is totally blackness of a memory back then when we were born. It is pure darkness of memory. But once a baby first born, he cries tears. Let's look carefully on the word tears in Hebrew, because the word tears in Hebrew and the Hebrew language itself is the language of God. And we shall look at the hidden secret behind those letters in the word Hebrew. Notice that the word tears, dmaot, is changed to know death, dam mavet. To know what is death is to cry tears. And when he cries, and when we cry tears, God always calms those tears. And who is that God anyways? He's the old people you see walking on the streets. He's your doctors that participated in your birth. He's your friends, he's your mothers, he's your dads. He's all your reality around you. But as more as you grow older, the more you forget such facts deeply in your heart. Darkness are letters forget, and that's what is hidden behind the letters. And it is forgotten to us. We forgot that everything that exists is absolutely God itself, Himself, because God is the existence as one. It's Him, one and same one, Almighty, that loves and always tried and helped and do good to us. But all the hate in the world is because misunderstandings. It is absolutely one big misunderstanding, and that is causing only because of demons, believe it or not. But before that, we will explain something very interesting of how to fix Adam and Eve's sin. Take a look in this interesting quote from Genesis 3:12 to 14. The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me the fruit from the tree, and I ate it." Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." So the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life." The hidden secret that is written in the Zohar book, God asked Adam and Eve why they ate the fruit, but God did not ask the snake why he tempted them. Adam said it's Eve's fault and that she tempted him. And Eve said it's not her fault, but it's the serpent's fault. And God did not ask the serpent why he tempted them. He directly punished him. The Holy Book of the Zohar is asking this question: why God did not ask the serpent why he tempted them? Well, the answer is simple. The God and the snake were the same one, and Adam and Eve were also the same one like God. But They were covered with darkness because the forbidden fruit, and therefore darkness are letters forget, and that's why. And between God and the serpent there was an agreement, and agreement are letters mask. And that mask made Adam look at himself in the mirror, his own reality, and punish himself. God did not punish him. God did that. It was Adam's fault punished him. Because if God were asking the serpent, why did you tempt them? The serpent will give God an answer he already knew. The serpent will say, there is nothing else but you. I am you. You are my wills. It's you who wanted to tempt them. You are the only thing that exists. You are the existence. And God, because he knew that, he simply hidden it from Adam and Eve by the fact he punished them all, including the serpent, without asking the serpent why. That was their agreement on us. That's why serpent, nachash in Hebrew, means nichush, to guess. Simply the word guess. Guess why I did that. Let's look at the facts. There is a garden. There is Adam and there is Eve. And they can have everything except one thing, which is forbidden. And besides it, there is creature, which his only job is to tempt you to have this forbidden thing, while God is the whole existence itself as one. What God actually did to Adam is a test to see if he is loyal in the darkness. Does he understand it? Does God is the whole existence that exists, including his own art will? That is the test that Adam passed, failed at. And what happened from them? All the reality was born. The Big Bang. All the creation created, all the creation itself is Adam, the first man. We are all sparks of his soul, himself. We have the potential to have his divinity, but we don't have it now. And we can be him, God. We have the potential, but something is blocking us. Money is blocking us. If we will just stop for once and ask ourselves, what is money? Money is paper, which is created from the nature. Everything that worth money comes from the nature. Water, fire, electricity, wind, meat, fur. All the things that exist come from the nature. So what makes us translate that nature into money? And the answer is our stupidity. We just don't understand that the nature is God. Now observe on an interesting gematria. The nature Ateva is Jewish gematry 86 equals gematry God equals gematry heart illness. From here we understand that everyone is ill in his heart. We are all ill in our hearts. We are all born with a splinter in our wills and desires and mind. And that heart must know from what he is made of. He has good will and bad will, Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Ra. And the good will is made of a system to do good for yourself and your environment, and therefore it's also your ego. And the bad will is something else. The bad will is made of two parts. Quote from the Bible: "For I am poor and needy, and my heart is wounded with me." Psalms 109:22. Our heart is wounded. It has a spiritual vacuum, and for it to have vacuum, it must have two parts of wills. One will is desired to enter that vacuum void, and the other will is desired to exit it. So what are the parts that the bad will is made of? Let's observe, shall we? Part 1. Some sort of any thought negative to the creation and reality without feeling regrets. Part 2. Regrets. And those regrets leads to fear, and denying them bring anger, which is part 1 again. Everything we do in life, if we get angry, we have a will to do negative things against the creation and living beings, which is part 1. For example, to be violent, to try to do anything bad to ourselves or else people, and not just from anger, but also from unknowing the fact that the Lord is ourselves and all around us as one. Because if we do not know that, we will do bad things because we do not care about other people. They are not ourselves, that's why should we care? If we will know that God is all around us and ourselves as one, we won't do bad things to the living beings, because it is God we love. And we come to that level of understanding that it's all one. And there is a very important sentence. From Pirkei Avot, chapter 2:4. He used it to say, "Do his will as if it was your will, that he may do your will as if it was his will. Make your will of no effect before his will, that he may make the will of others of no effect before your will." Simply it says, do not judge a person until you imagine yourself you are him, and do not judge a person when he is angry. When a person is angry, he don't act from his goodwill, Yetzer Tov, or from aware consciousness. All the habits to video angry people and to share it on the internet is absolutely bad act. There is no logical goal behind that. People are suiciding from shame because of that. There are no winners in a war. The important fact here is to let all the people in the world know that the world itself is God, and also what is above them, so they won't have pride. We all must understand what is one united nation and religion. When a person make noise loud, take for example the criminals of Israel, or any man's enemy. When he yells, it's because he feels bad. And when a person feels bad, he shows it, therefore he is evil. Note that the word noise are letters evil. When a person yells, look carefully that yell are stinger. Those are the letters. Like a bee. What a bee does, it stings. Bee, devora, by phonetic sound is dibura, which means vulgar language. And what vulgar language does? It stings, exactly like bee. Because a yell stings. And people are arguing just because raising the level of the sound of their voice. And what started the argue is the yell and the raising the voice level. When a person makes any noise, it's because he's needy for something. For example, we have two empty pitchers. In one pitcher there is one gold coin, while the other pitcher is full of gold coins. Now let's seal them and shake them. Which one will make more noise? The answer is simple. The pitcher with the gold coin, the one gold coin. Because he is in a need for gold coin in order to be full. Those gold coins are a parable for a good feeling. He is in a need for a good feeling. Because he is empty with good feeling. He is evil and make noise. While using vulgar language to get attention, he is screaming inside his heart for help. That is why he is defined as bad or evil. But eventually, the evil guy is just in a need for a good feeling to live. If he is in a need, we need to complete him. Then the poor evil guy with no coins will turn into rich with many coins to live, and observe how letters evil are rich. That is the negative and the synonymous. Therefore, who is evil? It's because he is rich. He is rich because he don't give his money for the poor. That's why he is evil, because he is live. That's why evil backwards are live. This also can parable into a feeling and not just money. So we can understand that the real money is good feelings. Take a look on a quote from Rabbi Nachman from Breslev book. Good intentions, bad acts. The intentions of all the people in the world are good, but their acts are bad. For example, the religions. All the religions want to worship God in the way God wants, but none of them know that God's will is their own heart will and desires. And God is that everything that exists, including themselves. So the religions forbid themselves to do what their own heart desire want. They do against God, which is themselves, their own will, while they think they do God's will. Where is the logic and sense here, I ask? This is a very big entertainment for the heavens who observes us. Therefore, what we speak about here, that is the true way of how to understand the Torah in light. Torah letters are hutar, which means allowed. Therefore, Torah is something that is forbidden to understand until there is will that allows it. And why is that? Because it's entertainment for the heavens, which is God, and for God. It is truly obviously that heavens know such thing, and every existence is God Himself. There is nothing else but Him. The initials for agreement of angels in Hebrew means God. Simple. And it's sure funny to observe everyone not knowing they are part of one, speaking to each other and not noticing it's all the same one. Every man is praying the Lord, and second after he is spitting on him and cursing him and humiliating him. That is so funny. It is hidden secret that our world is future to laugh with and get a lot of entertainment from it. Everything that has a beginning has an end, and everything that has no beginning has no end. If you exist in a world with an end, you must have a basic living from a world with no end. The purpose of God's speech is to create this reality. This reality exists only if God speaks. Now there is wall, floor, air to breathe only because God is speaking right now. He did not create the reality and went away. He is speaking right now. But we can't hear it. His speech is the very existence. Remember the spell abracadabra? That is simply means in Hebrew, I will create as I will speak. Like it says in Birkat Hamazon, everything is made by his speech. So what is the purpose of creating this reality, which is his speech? So now we will ask, that is the purpose of the word speech in Hebrew, and we will find the word entertainment. So now we understand why he made this reality and what's its purpose and essence. It's just for entertainment. It's all just to entertain God in the heavens and in hell. He is observing us. We are just a copy of him. We have much more to learn. It's all entertainment. And entertainment is his speech. And his speech creates his own reality. But what does the speech creates? On that we shall talk about now. Quote from Genesis. In the beginning God created heavens and the earth. The hidden secret here in Hebrew that the word the means all the Hebrew letters, which means letters A to Z in Hebrew, which are God's speech. With those letters he created heavens and the earth, and those letters he created by his speech. Therefore all those letters are all the metrics, all the existence we exist in. How did all that started? All the languages created. Long time ago there was Babel Tower. Babel in Hebrew means to be confused. What got confused in Babel Tower? What that got confused in Babel Tower is the language of all the people who built it. Because all mankind built a tower to reach the heaven. They thought that God is physically exists in the sky and that is in the sky there is heaven. If they would have reached the sky with that building, they would have reached the outer space. And in outer space there is no oxygen. Whoever will reach there will just die. Therefore all the humanity will observe all those who went up in that building, and not coming back, they will think they seen God and stayed with him there and not coming back. So what that happened is that God brought darkness upon them, and darkness our letters forget. He made them forget their language. It got their language in a big confusion of misunderstandings. From here we understand that God punishment actually saved mankind from become extinct. Because if all would reach the outer space from that building, all mankind will have extinct for good. Now observe now the letters penalty, our letters saved, because God saved us from become extinct in the outer space, which was something the mankind did not know. Now we will observe what is the secret of the Hebrew letters we are based on. Those letters combine the Magen David star. That symbol original name is the hexagram. This is a very old symbol which is used in all the religious, in all mankind history. Observe what is hidden behind that symbol. Therefore, those letters and numbers create that symbol of Magen David. Also observe that the symbol shaped from the name God, Jehovah in Hebrew, is the Magen David. So that's what combines the symbols, so far we know, and you have seen the power of that symbol. It's not just a symbol. The letters are creating it, and the letters creating the whole existence. So what are we actually understand when we accept the fact that God are us? We are developing in ourselves free love, and being evolved that way. And that free love is in our heart. And there are two, good and bad, and the logic inside us called Messiah. It is the one unit of light. That is the third voice in our heart. It's called conscience, and that means to be a hero, to listen to the conscience and logic, and not look to the left nor to the right. Like the sages said, if one constantly degrades people, he himself is pasul and never praises others. Masechet Kiddushin 72g. Simply it says whoever is disqualified means his problem is that he's disqualifying at all. It doesn't matter what are you disqualifying, because the Lord is everything. So if you are disqualifying anything, you are actually disqualifying the Lord. Whoever is disqualifying the fact that all is one, he is disqualifying himself. Quote for Shemot 23, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Not having other gods means not to disqualify God, which is everyone. Because a statue, if you count it inside your heart as it is God like everyone else is, it doesn't matter. The important matter is not to disqualify anything, because the Lord is all the existence as one. So there is nothing to disqualify. It doesn't matter if you bow to a statue or to humans. You just need to feel it inside your heart, and that all existence is God. Again, those are high levels of consciousness of angels, because if you are bowed to statue and only to statue, so it counts as other gods. But if you disqualify something while knowing that God is everything, it counts also as other gods. Now we will speak about the religious. The word religion in Hebrew are initials of way to communicate, and that is the way people communicate with each other. When I say communicate, I mean love, united feelings, harmonic energy, share a dream and purpose, and not by the meaning of speech and talk to each other. It's like a community. Every community and movements, organizations are counted as religion because they have a common goal inside those communities. How people understand religion, it is not how religion is supposed to be understood. Because a way for one communication is when the world agrees one agreement, and one agreement is one religion, and there is no such thing in these days, one religion. From here we understand that we are all need a fix. This world is a secret of hell, and if you will read backwards the word secret, sod in Hebrew, you will find the word dos, also religious. That's why, because the secret is not the religious, and the religious is not the secret. God moves in a mysterious ways, quote, and God moves are only mysterious, and the religious are not mysterious or hidden. So think for yourselves if the religious are God moves. Therefore every man need to ask himself, who am I? Who are you? What is this place? Who speaks here? Every question to wake up. We will speak on every interesting thing right now. The judgment afterlife, does it exist? When a person reaches the afterlife, what he is going to confront with? According many people evidences of clinical death, people are reporting that we're in a judgment place like a court. So they saw all their life passing in a picture and videos in front of them like a movie. And then good angels and bad angels are speaking between them as in your name while you can't say a thing. And they ask them questions about their lives and giving any accusations on them. Those what all the evidences say about afterlife judgment. But let's ask ourselves, what means judgment? Let's observe on the word judgment in Hebrew, and we see two varieties. One is simple, two is stupid. From here we understand that the judgment is for stupid souls, and stupid souls are simple souls. No attentions to insult anyone, but if we're speaking about consciousness in the heavens and afterlife, which is that the Lord is the whole existence, so the judgment becomes stupid, because whoever judge between the Lord to the Lord, who is the Lord, is not a judge but stupid, and he doesn't have a purpose but only an abyss. Note how the letters are converted in Hebrew. A person must understand that when he dies and goes after life, whoever judges him is he himself alone in the mirror. Mirror are letters will and fear, yirah. He must understand who is himself, to learn to forgive himself, accept himself as he himself, and free himself from guilt. He will explain a very high secret, the secret of salvation. Take a look at this quote. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Psalms 32:1. Transgression means to forget the fact that only God exists and He is also ourselves. That simple means we are not guilt in anything, because every will that exists is His will. That is the technique to forgive ourselves, and if we forgive ourselves, therefore our sins are covered automatically. And that is written in Psalms 32:1, 32 in Jewish gematry of word heart. and one means one heart, to marry the bad and evil to one. They should both marry. In that quote, there is a secret how to engage the bad will and our heart with the good will, and to turn them both into one heart desire, which is complete with God's will. Means that His will and God's will be one. So, when a person goes up in the dimensions in the afterlife, the angels accuse him in so many accusations. Is all these things is serious or just a joke? Because if there is nothing else but God, then it's God who is accusing on His own will. That is obviously a joke, because only God exists and is the very one as many. The main question here, if that's so, is there no such thing that God is herself? Because if she does, then she won't have guilt and will never be sent to heavens. But if she's not, then she will have guilt and will be sent to hell. And that is a secret that God, Hashem, were hiding it for ages because it is entertaining Him. That is a journey and fix that every man and woman must do for themselves together, no alone, recommended together as one. And when he reach our fix alone, he understands one thing, that all the Bible written in parables, and observe how letters Egypt are urged in Hebrew. Therefore we can understand from this parable that we are slaves to our urge, to the good urge and the bad urge. They both confuse us very much. When Rabbi Nachman says in his book, do not listen nor to the left or nor to the right, the meaning is not looking at the other gender, but not choosing the good nor the bad. Only be in the middle and not to get confused by any sides. Because if God wants us to be free in the salvation, He would want us to be king and feel that way in our chosen ways and acts. So we need to find the secret to feel kings, so everybody will feel he is free as a king from his urge of his heart. And this was Moses' secret. When Moses saved the people of Israel from Egypt in the Exodus, God said to Moses, tell your people that the name of the one who sent you is I am what I am. I am what I am. And that means God is every shape He wants to be. In Moses' case, He revealed Himself as a burning bush, but we must understand that even Moshe is Hashem. Therefore God and Moses are the same one. Look how the letters Moses backwards are Hashem. They are the same one. When Moses came down from Sinai mountain, he has returned his God's commandments. He returned with them. And when he came back from that mountain, he saw the people of Israel sinning, rape, murder themselves. Therefore Moses saw us as unworthy to have such commandments. So he destroyed those commandments he had on the statues of other gods that people built. The commandments Moses got from Mount Sinai, no one knew what was written inside it, because only Moses knew what was written inside it. It was Hashem commandments and not Moshe commandments. What Moses got from God, it was it. But after he destroyed God's commandments, he gave us Moses' commandments, Moses' Torah, and not Hashem Torah. The commandments that came out from Moses' lips and not God. It is possible that Moses hid the real Hashem commandments from us, because such logic we are speaking about in this lecture that God is all one. He's waking up our consciousness. So when Moses came down from Sinai Mount and destroyed Hashem's commandments, he gave us a new commandments from his own mouth, which was Torah Moshe, Moses' commandments. And that's why Moses are backwards God. They are the same one, but not the same commandments and Torah, because the true God commandments are an improvement for Moses' commandments. Moses' commandments are just a basic rule of behavior. God commandments is what we speak here. It is revealing our mind and eyes. Therefore, the only one rule we must remember is that God is the whole existence as one. That's why Moses punished himself not to see the land of Israel, and also why there is no Moses' grave until today. Go figure what happened with Moses. Maybe he is God himself, and he is guilt. So from here we understand that Moses actually saved the people of Israel by the fact he gave us untrue commandments. If God's commandments are not Moses' commandments, then we can understand that Moses' commandments are something that is correct but not true. So Moses' commandments are not God's commandments. And why is that? Because Moses saw us murdering ourselves and raping women and praying to statues and other gods. If he would have told us the truth we are talking about here, that God is themselves and all around them, they all would have punished themselves and then suicide from shame and guilt. Moses did not have a choice but to give us a correct rules of God, but not a truly true one. That's why when you read backwards the word Moses in Hebrew, you find the word God. And that's why it is in backwards and not in cut-in letters. But eventually, when we understand such thing, we can understand things beyond time. Because God is beyond time. God is past, present, and future. That is his name, Jehovah. And that means all those three. We will explain about it in the future, but God is beyond time. And his name said while in prayer. Let's ask ourselves, what is time? We shall look in the letters and see the word food. Food is eating. Eating are letters Johel. The time we eat from is penalty from infinite soul. And observe how letters clock are penalty. Time is a continuous moments. Whoever is controlling those moments is only God, because only God exists. So whatever exists and moves is only God's will. Now observe how I make time no logical. If we will look at the physics formula of time, time equals distance part speed. Distance and speed are forming a variety of space nor place. We need certain space in order to calculate that. And for having space we need height, width and movement between them. If we will observe the very tiniest particle in the creation that is in every existing particles, we shall meet one family of particles, the atoms. Around the atoms there are electrons which are creating them. Look how letters electron are absorbed light. Therefore the light is absorbed inside and is building the atom. And that light is in the Hebrew letters we are based on. Those are God's speech. And God is an army of angels that is having a conversation in a dimensions we cannot see or hear. Therefore there is no space or place, but all the reality is one place and one space. So time does not exist. So what does exist instead of time, we ask? What that exists is a continuous moment, and what that is created. And if we will read the word create backwards, we will find the word will. Therefore, only will exists and not time. And that will only belongs to whoever is the only one exists here, which is God. Therefore, our heart's will are God's will. It's one. So you need to ask yourself if you do against your own heart desires and will, because if you do, then you are going against God. But if you hurt any feelings of others, you are actually hurting God's feelings, because that is who you are. You are God. You are my hiding place. Psalms 32:7. Note that the answer for that question is coded in the question itself. The word you, ata, in Hebrew are three letters. Aleph, A. A means beginning of letters and life. Z means end of letters and life. A means God, because only God exists. That means you are God because only God exists, and the fact that you are exists means you are Him. That is the whole existence. And observe how letters existence are letters universe. Therefore the existence is the universe. And those are the same one. When a person goes to work, it depends how he behave other people and what he think about them. He don't need to show them happiness, but he just need to feel inside like they are all one complete God for him, because the information he knows inside makes him act to all like they are God, and that brings him protection of angels from the unknown, because he will love them, they will love him as well. And that means to be nothing. And observe our letters nothing in Hebrew are letters God. Therefore God is nothing and nothing is God. Wherever there is nothing, there exists God. Also in Hebrew the word nothing can be heard as the word everyone. Therefore God is everyone. And God is the letter Shin. And the letter Shin exists on every mezuzah. And the letter Shin in Hebrew is a draw of three connected pipes. Now observe how the letter pipes become wheels. And those three wheels are good urge, bad urge, and Messiah. Unit, which is our consciousness, which is the logic unit. Therefore, Messiah unit means the logic unit inside the people, to connect both heart urge to one logic. And he's supposed to find the new Torah. He is the one who's supposed to reveal the new light of Zion. That's Shin. It is every person. Shin is Messiah. Messiah is a creature with the ability to think, which is a conversation between heart wheels, good and evil. Everyone is Messiah. They just need to wake up and understand it. Anyone can make a change. Therefore, Messiah letter happiness and the letter existing brain. What is in our brain? A conversation between two negative wills. The good will representing heaven and the bad will representing hell. And they both create a conversation between them, which we call thinking. In heaven and hell there is no thinking abilities. In heaven it's an harmonic energy, and in hell it's disharmonic energy. Depends on the dimension you are at. And that's the philosophy and the theory. And observe how according to the cotton letters mystery, theory are letters watch God, and philosophy according to the phonetic sound of it in Hebrew sound like here is no end, God, Philosophia. Philosophia. That means that the one true philosophy is that we can be infinite, and we don't supposed to die if we reach God's technology. And we live in a world of a dream. And observe letter dream. Our letter is fighter. And we need to fight for our dream to come true and be free. Being a fighter is being with a dream. Observe how also dream are letters in his mind. The dream in his mind, and that is the world of a dream with a beginning and an end. Like we are future to leave this world, we are future to come back. And it also backwards. When a person dies and leaving this world, all his close people are crying and sad, while the world in the afterlife is happy to accept him. But when he is born, everyone is happy while he is crying and sad. To understand God, you need to understand everything reversed. You just need to choose interpretation for that. And observe our letters interpretation, our letters improvement. That is the goal of every interpretation, to give an improvement for the existing one, and always to get new improvements, and accept only those who make it logical to us. And to reach such thing, we need one thing, peace. And observe our letter peace, our letter ruler. And who is the ruler? Only God is the ruler. But we must understand who is that God. Like the quote, the entire world is very narrow bridge. The important thing is to fear nothing. By Rabbi Nachman. Observe our coded letters and words here. Bridge our letter feeling, and fear our letter urge. Everything that you fear from at start, after the first experience, you have urge to do it again and again what you feared from. Therefore, naturally people fear from good. So do not be afraid to be excited. Do not fear from your feelings, but go on. There is a sentence for good. There is a satisfaction from good, but you didn't know that there is satisfaction from better. A person knows what is good, but doesn't know what is better from that good. And to know a better good is to know that you exist in one living system, which is God. Now we shall explain about the letters that combine the name Jehovah in Hebrew. Yud Hey Vav Hey, Yehovah. The first letter, Yud. Let's say I have an empty white paper and I want to draw in it a dot. So I draw a dot on it. And why did I draw a dot if I don't want to continue my drawing? I want to continue my drawing, so I leave a comma, which is a little draw of a line at the edge of the dot. And that draw formed us the letter Yud. Yud is the letter that represents will. After I want to create something in an infinite place, I need to draw its edge and limitations, which are entrance and exit. And that forms us the letter Hey, which looks like a pipe we are going through. After I draw it entrance and exit limitations, I need to create it from spiritual dimension to a material one. Therefore I continue the draw on the letter Yud, and it looks like a shape of a line. That is the letter Vav. Vav represents action. Therefore the action is to create heavens and earth. That is just on the third letter. After he creates all the reality, he is showing it to himself. To the letter he drew an entrance and exit, and he wrote in the limitation, which is Hey. Then again the letter Hey. Yud Hey Vav Hey. Therefore Yud is will. Hey, create in limitations. Vav, actions. Hey, show the creations to the limitations being which is himself. Therefore the name God, Jehovah, means the whole reality itself. The whole reality itself showing herself to herself. And it's all one, which is its own purpose, is to entertain itself. And that is the goal for our fix. If we shall observe letter fix, we shall see the word, disconnections. And those are opposites. In the fix and the disconnection, because fix is being connected, and the fix is good one feeling inside our heart, which is representing heavens, and the disconnection is the bad feeling inside our heart, which is representing hell. And what stands in the middle between them, if not a baby? And letters fix and disconnections are also letters baby. Those three combine the same letters, and those three wheels form and draw the letter Shin. Three connected wheels, and that is the baby. The baby is Shin. The baby doesn't know he's Shin. Shin means also sleepy. He needs to understand this alone. That is the purpose of the fix of the baby. To reveal himself that everything around him, including himself, is one true, living God, Jehovah Tzvaot. And that's how we will evolve into a loved and beloved being. Because who doesn't love himself, he won't love others, especially not strangers. Therefore we must understand that God are us and everyone around us. And God are us, God is everyone. And when we understand such thing, we finally understand what is freedom. And when we understand what is freedom, that is the end of our seeking and searchings. And look how letters freedom are letters search. And that's why every man is looking for what is freedom. Every being wants to be free to do whatever he wants to do. Nobody wants anyone to suffer in this world. Everyone wants to be free. Again, everyone wants to be in his own choice. Anyone wants to be free in their own personal world. Now we will explain something interesting. Something very interesting. That is written in Genesis book. Quote from Genesis. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. Genesis 1:2. Observe what is hidden behind letters. Darkness are letters forget. Deep are letter purpose. Therefore we find the sentence forget purpose. That's why the earth was formless and empty. And what is happening when we forgot our purpose? We forget something very important. The purpose is what there is nothing else but Him. And what that the whole reality is Him, Himself, me, you, them, it. All are the same one, which are God. Everybody are Him. That's the purpose that been forgotten. That's why the earth was formless and empty. And now we will explain about the secret of darkness. And the letter of darkness in Hebrew is combined with three letters. Chet, Shin, Kaf. Let's observe these letters closely and see what is the mystery inside them. Chet represents laughing. Ha ha ha. Shin represents question. Kaf represents a search for meaning. As you can see, so we find first laugh because we are darkness, and darkness was exists before light. After we laugh, we ask about what we love, and after we ask about what we love, we are searching for a meaning and reason why we laugh on what we loved, and that goes in a loop, which is the letter Chet again. Therefore darkness always firstly laugh. Why does darkness always firstly laugh? Because darkness is El Almighty and was existed before light. It's where nothing exists, and as we said before, nothing is God. All the mysteries inside the darkness and God ways are only mysteries. Therefore God is hiding inside the darkness. Therefore negative meets each other. and show us that bad is good and we need to use it for good. I shall show you something very interesting and mysterious. Observe a list negative words which combine the same letters. Danger, entrance. Fear, urge. Penalty is save. Nothing is God. None is me. Emptiness, purpose. Dead, innocent. And in English, evil is live. Why do you think all those letters that combine all those negative meanings? Look what a mysterious Torah interpretation is hiding behind the letters, and we don't even know about it a thing. Look how all the letters and words in Hebrew on the right side are positive, while all the other left are negative, and those are the same letters combination. From here we understand that good and evil are in the same one and the same one. The bad and the good are the same one. Will, which is God. And that is technique and technology to reach perfection in our feeling of way of life choices. So know that there is no such thing as choice. That is also saying Rabbi Nachman. There is no such thing as choice. All is written in heavens. Coincidence are letters God wrote. And also coincidence are letters karma. We have a choice, but we can choose if we have a choice or if we don't have a choice. And if we choose that we don't have a choice, we are always staying calm no matter what happens. And we know that everything that happens to us is God's choice. And God's choice is only good. Observe how the word cancelled are letters for good purpose. Everything that happens to us is for our own good. Every person needs to say to himself, all the world was created just for me, and all the reality is myself. And whatever is in front of me is myself in the mirror. And every living being needs to say this to himself. And that is called live, and backward it's evil. Therefore, acting opposite to what I just said is evil. Quote from Genesis, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, from when you eat from it you will certainly die. Genesis 2:17. God said that to Adam, the first man, and Adam ate from that tree and he died. And then all the creation was burned, the Big Bang, and all this creation has been created. That is the development from the forbidden fruit. Fruit are letters development. Therefore live are letters in mind of God. And that is live, to understand that all that in front of you is God, including yourself. That is the only beginning of how to understand such things and knowledge, and enter in heaven's frequency. That's why our tears protect us in a spiritual way. The initials of the basic word tears in Hebrew means sons of Israel are like the sands of the sea. Bnei Israel kechol hayam. Therefore, like the sand protects us, the earth, being flooded by the sea, therefore humans' tears protect them from demons and evil spiritual creatures that accuse them in higher dimensions. And anger and spiritual sealed energy, our tears protect and cleanse us from those. And tears is to know that we live in the world that is death, in order to wake up and live we must understand that God are us and everyone around us, and all this matches. And observe how letters truth are match. And to bring the truth to match, we all must be aware for such fact. This is everyone's destiny. And observe how letters' destiny are knowledge. And that what creates the soul. Observe how letters soul our letters changes. How does the soul changes? Because of the knowledge she contains. And that soul is changed according to the knowledge she learns and logical to her, for her own understanding. And she finds the fact that all is one, every very logical. When the soul understands she is one, she is figuring that she is two inside of her, so she don't have between what to judge or choose. Observe how letters to choose are letters to flee. If you choose between two things, you choose between the same thing, so therefore you flee from what you choose. Therefore what is need to is to merge, and observe how letters to choose are also letters to merge. So we can choose one choice, or we can just choose if to merge the two choices, and that is the true purpose. Do not judge a person or other. Whoever judges between God to God is not judge, but a fool. And observe how letters judge are letters fool. And observe how letters fool are letters normal. And nor is normal. That is normal to be fool. Because the fool is judging all the time. And judging people is to be fool. And to be fool is to fear, to flee. Observe a quote from Psalms 105:38 from Atikun HaKlali. Egypt was glad when they left, because dread of Israel had fallen on them. If we will interpret this quote by the interpretation that we are all one, therefore we understand that God is also Egypt and also Israel. God was happy when Israel left Egypt, because their own dread was fallen on them. And when your own dread is fallen on yourself, that is called being a fool. To be a fool is to deny and to disqualify. To deny a person by his perspective to one. To deny that we are all one is being a fool. To deny is messing with an harmonic energy. Being a fool is to be led by misunderstanding. Therefore there is another quote. Be not like a horse or a mule without understanding, which must be curbed with a bit and bridle, or it will be not stay near you. Psalms 32:9. We cannot understand the Torah and each other if we act like horses or mules. The same is here. A person will not accept you if you do not understand him. You must not be stubborn. It does not require Macron's speech, because defamation, which is vulgar language, can be also entertaining without insulting anyone. For example, there are two friends. If friends are cursing each other or using vulgar language, they are not getting insulted because they are friends and laugh about it. But if strangers do so, they are insulted and take it very seriously. That is simple explanation that judging people is to be fool, because God are us, and God is always a friend. It is just up to us if we accept him as one. What left here is to judge the good feeling or bad feeling in our hearts, or to just merge them both into one desire of essence with purpose, and to face the fact of it. Observe an example. If a dog flees from something, or if you flee from a dog, the dog will chase you. That's how the nature works. Observe how the word dog in English reversed to God. Why is it like that? Here all the words and letters are implying the same one meaning, according to the cutting letters technique. That's how we will understand things more deeply. To fear is forbidden. If you will fear or disqualify or deny something in higher dimensions, after life it will accuse and attack you. That's how it is written in the books. God will fulfill every desire of human heart. If you think logically, also, our Creator must fulfill our desires. He must feed us and create our wills themselves. You and your Creator are one. He fulfills you. You are Him. Our heart has a splinter of wills, and God is making those wills to come true. If human beings will learn how to control those wills, they could control the reality and do paranormal stuff, just like superheroes in the movies. There is so much we can do by uniting all the religions and science and communities into one united nation and reach maximum power and knowledge of light. We can unite everything and maximize our potential. Now we shall observe again on the list of the name of the Lord according to the book of Kabbalah. Look what is marked at the top. Olam, which means world. God is the whole world, as we can see here. What exactly means Olam in Hebrew? Olam in Hebrew means something that is hidden, or more like hidden. Therefore, God is the whole world and hidden from us. God is the good feeling of harmonic and friends shaping. All this Torah that we are talking about in this lecture, purpose of the world, its OSS is a Torah of its own. It's a one big university of life and even infinity. It is something infinite. You can teach and learn it even in parables. It is a deep interpretations to understand that the whole world is one system which is God. And only here begins the improvements and new interpretations of this Torah. Only here everything begins to improve. The knowledge of truth reveals. Even those, it will go through the process of some people that will dispute it, but they actually dispute themselves. But generally, what are we trying to prove here? We are trying to prove here that people, that they are God. They need to feel free as kings and love to be and to be loved. We are trying to wake up people consciousness and make us understand we are simply God. Is that so hard, or is it simple? Because God is truly them. God is the whole existence that exists, and we are stuck in a consciousness we exist at, carrying the fear to change and denying change, disqualifying change. We are slaves to their mind. The good voice tells us you should act this way, and the bad voice tells us you must not act this way. And we are slaves for their subconscious consciousness. None of us are free. Everyone is searching. Where is freedom? And observe how letters freedom are our letters search. People will want to be free. All will want to praise all. That there will be love between all beings. That there will be future dispute between people. People will dispute it because some will remain stuck in their religions and in their own way of life. But they all must understand that their own ways are God's ways, and it's okay. But they just need to accept harmonically the others. It's all eventually will unite into one united world of a nation. That is the most higher purpose, and we can understand this more deeply. Our movements can disqualify people, but the body language. That's how we can look at sins, by our body movements. Body languages are movements, and movements are also counted as speech. Because movements are an existence, and existence is a speech. So we will begin to talk with each other, with the tunes of our body, because our body language can be interpreted to a divine movement or to a sin movement. And with that power of our body language, we can control our reality, how we behave to each other. Are we spreading darkness to each other? Or are we spreading light to each other? And that is the difference between routine and to feel God. Because routine is something boring that happens every day. And to feel God is to get excited and be amazed. Also, letters routine are God banned us. The question is, what is your perception about it? Good eye or bad eye? You need with accepted eye. Because accepted I is to be excited from everything. And imagine yourself a world where everyone is the one and everyone feels the one. That is the time of salvation and end of days. That is the end. And the end is not the end. It is just the beginning. Ketz in Hebrew means end, and that means simply in Hebrew to wake up. To wake up, that means for you to understand that yourself and everything around you is one living system, which is God. And that God is divided and must be united again into one word, harmonic agreement. And that is the essence of God. That's how we can understand the future. Observe how letters future are letters by way of communications. Which can be also mean as using the religions. Religions in Hebrew initials, way to communicate. If we relate what happened to us in the past with what happened to us in the present, we can understand what will happen in the future. It's the sequence of events that happens to us in our life that we need to internalize and understand. Let's say this simple. Human being heart's desire are God's desire, and that's the secret of salvation. That is the perfection of seeing the reality as a mirror of reflection perspective. To understand that you yourself is something unseparated from the rest existence, which is what in front of you all the time, and that is yourself forever. And all this public will judge. And now observe how our word public in Hebrew are initials of live people, neutral people, and evil people. And all those three in the public. The live people are the right side and the evil people are the left side. Quote from Rabbi Nachman's book. Do not choose nor to the left or nor to the right. From here we understand that we need to be neutral, in the middle, because neutral do not choose a path. He's trying to be neutral and understand. He's trying to understand what is logic. A simple path of logic without any chance of denying it. A simple path of logic in his own heart desire. A simple path to understand the logic of the general mankind minds, to observe, to research, to ask himself deep in his heart, to ask others, to see who disqualifies him. And whoever disqualifies him is disqualifying himself. And whoever is disqualifying himself, who will accept him? And that knowledge takes a place which is the whole dimension of itself, of one family of souls. And everybody who accepts that knowledge, which is agreement of angels in the heavens, he or she has a place in heavens. They have a place in a place that will accept them, because they accept that place. Because if he will deny that place, which is the fact that he himself is also God and also around him as one, then he will deny himself. Then he will lead himself to a place where God is asleep. And a place where God is asleep called hell. Hell is in Hebrew Gehenom. Geher is God, Nom is asleep. Letters, what garden? What is this place? Where am I? Who am I talking with? Who am I? Who are you? It seems hopeless, but Rabbi Nachman says there is nothing such thing as hopeless in the world. We shall look on a quote from Hatikun HaKlali of Rabbi Nachman. A very interesting quote. Come, let us sing for a joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with the thanksgiving and extol with music and song. Psalms 95, 1-2. Observe what is hidden in the letters in Hebrew, in the word sing and in the word joy. Observe how letters joy are wake up God, and letters sing are letters with clue and implies. Therefore, from here we understand that with clues and implies behind the Hebrew letters, we can wake up God, which are us. And that's how we will understand things more clearly and deeply in the light. And that is the essence of marriage, of the two heart will voices. They are negative of each other, like a mirror. This is one wants with the creation, and this one wants against the creation. And they are mirror. Letters mirror are letters fear of God. They are mirror of each other. That's why they fear of God, to know their reflection of yourself. Everything you do in this world is because you are searching for yourself. You were born in this world in order to find who you are, and to know that the whole world is a reflection of yourself, like a mirror. It's your reflection, exactly like standing in front of a mirror. And to know that you stand in front of a mirror is to concentrate inside yourself, and observe how that you're concentrated or that is divinity. And that is the true meaning of being divinity, to be connected inside your own thoughts, in the conversation inside your own mind, to count the question and answer inside your own mind as God speaking to himself, and by that to count your own interpretations, and to know that your own interpretations are the improvement of God, yourself.